Bob from Buttafleye Ministry, and thank you so much for taking the time to come by and share with us today. You'll be able to find my podcast along with several others on our website at buttaflyeministry.org, which also have links to merchandise and other things that you can get to help out the ministry. We feed and house and in most cases clothe a lot of the people in our community that find themselves between places right now. So if you'd like to find out more information, again, you can go to the website at buttaflyeministry.org. There's a sign-up sheet as well as a place that you can make donations. Now, what I'm here to talk about today is witchcraft. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of it, of my time, remind you what's in the Bible. However, I would like to go to a particular piece in Galatians. Let's go to Galatians. Let's start it out for time. Let's just start out at Galatians 5:7. Ye did run well. Who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? Now I want you to read the one before and after this so you can get the context. But the reason I started there is we're talking about witchcraft. And I want you to kind of understand my understanding of witchcraft so that when you make your choices throughout life, you can kind of understand how it works. A lot of people practice witchcraft and they don't know they're practicing witchcraft. For example, people who wear makeup, people who have tattoos and other things on their bodies of symbols. These symbols that they believe will induce a feeling or a thought in someone else. Like when you see the things with the lightning bolts or people tattooing the eye on them or something like that. They actually believe these things have some kind of supernatural power. And because they have a belief in that, that makes it a form of witchcraft. Now, a person who has no belief or understanding what that is, or have a totally different belief or understanding of what that is not necessarily practicing witchcraft. It's when a person does it with the intent of controlling someone other than that person would have been controlled in any other way. So for example, a form of witchcraft is when someone lies to you. A form of witchcraft is when folks take advantage of your naiveness. Your parents, if you are born in the U.S. and practice what we were first introduced to as being Christianity, your parents practice a form of witchcraft on you when they taught you how to draw a turkey that looks like your hand. And when they taught you how to lie by telling you there was a big jolly white guy slipping down your attic or your fireplace and didn't get burnt, and weird stuff like that. And this fat white guy is just going to be nice to you, even though all these other white guys you run into out there are not. But this one particular one is going to go through all this trouble to come in and give you a gift. They taught you this not knowing they were actually practicing witchcraft. When they taught you how to color the Easter eggs and how to hide them, and when they take you in the kitchen and they have these recipes that they tell you, oh, this is a secret recipe. It came down from my great-great-grandmother. All of those are forms of witchcraft. But again, you have to actually practice it for it to be witchcraft. Just because it is something that witches do does not necessarily make it witchcraft. For example, reading and spelling, yes, in some way is connected to what witches do, but that is not witchcraft. It is technically witchcraft because witches write things in books, their recipes for their spells, which they use spelling. But that is not witchcraft because you're not doing it specifically to control someone. Alchemy, making things like antiviruses and things like that, those things are designed to control people or to change something within that person. Even though they're not meant to be harmful, they're still practicing witchcraft. You see, when you do something to change or alter something that would naturally happen, then you're doing witchcraft. The difference between that and a person not doing witchcraft is the intent. Again, the person making an antiviral, yes, it does change things about you, but if the thing is to save you, that form of witchcraft may not necessarily be considered witchcraft if you look at it from different forms. The person isn't trying to cause harm, even though they may be. They're not trying to. And that's not a common practice for them to do evil by creating this antivirus or so on and so forth. So it's not like they're picking or choosing to try to hinder you. However, some folks are. Some people make certain things that they know will harm you, and they design them with the intent to harm you. And that's why when folks see certain symbols and things on certain things, they assume those folks are practicing some form of witchcraft. And possibly that is true. The results are clear. The Most High tells us in the good book that we'll be able to judge folks by the fruit of what they produce. The thing with witchcraft is, it's the intent. If you read the Bible and you study all the cases where folks were accused of doing something that was considered witchcraft, it was the intent. Otherwise, the same that the Most High did when he healed folks and he took the bread to feed all the folks, everything he did would have been considered witchcraft. But he didn't do that to harm anybody. Any of the things he did, though somebody may have been harmed, he did not do it to harm them. So you gotta weigh things when you start judging them and calling them witchcraft. At least your judgment could be off, because you can only judge things from your perspective. People will tend to try to place their thinking on you. For example, young men can look at a person and think to themselves, he's a handsome man, or that's a beautiful person or something. And they could not think anything beyond that. But that person who sees that person looking at them could perceive it completely different. And how that perception is built in their mind could be controlled by what we understand to be witchcraft. Because literally a person's parent, brother, sister, or cousin continually saying a certain thing to them in a negative, or presenting the thought of someone looking at them in a negative light, will make them think that every person that looks at them is looking at them in a negative light. This is a form of witchcraft that people practice on other folks and don't know it. They tear their self-esteem down on a daily basis by calling them names or wishing bad things upon them, saying they're stupid, that kind of thing. Witchcraft is always something we all have to be aware of, and understand that you could be practicing witchcraft and not understand you're doing it. If you find yourself hurting someone with your words, then you're casting spells on them. If you're saying that you wish bad things upon them, that's the actual cursing that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to say, I wish you would die, or things of that nature. That's the real cursing. The little naughty 4-letter words is not the real cursing. So it's a lot of understanding. Like, for example, love. And that's a whole new thing that we'll talk about at another conference. The word love is defined in the Bible. Hopefully through the witchcraft class, you'll learn what is not love, so that when you learn what love is, you'll be able to see the difference. A lot of people got love and emotions kind of mixed up. Love is not necessarily an emotion from what is taught from our Most High. Anyway, I'm going to keep this short. Any comments or anything like that, please place them at the bottom. If you're familiar with the answer to what is love to, please put your comments in the bottom, and we'll make sure that we get back to you with either an answer or a challenge. Thank you again. I'm Bishop Bob. Have a wonderful rest of your day.